All right. So we've got a pretty strong pack here. I think the best card in a vacuum here is Sephiroth. The only downside is there is a Jadar in the pack, and that is a pretty good enabler for this sort of deck. If we didn't want to do the black sack thing, Counterspell is an option. I'm going to take Sephiroth, though. I think it's just the strongest card here. Card's very silly. Showdown's also another nice one. Yeah. All those cards are fine, but we're going to take Sephiroth and move on with life. Ooh, Deep Cavern Bat, let's go. I mean, Currency Converter, pretty good card. Currency Converter Kitsa is a nice one here. Wandering Emperor's okay. Watley, pretty decent as well. Watergrave, you like to get fixing. But Deep Cavern Bat, it's a great 2-drop. It's probably Black's best 2-drop in a vacuum. It's not synergistic with anything this deck is doing, but anything is just a good card. And I don't like, I tend to build towards more like good cards. This also leaves me open to play like Jund or something, which like I could see Sephiroth being in just like a Jundy space or like some sort of more control-y mid-range space. I could see doing that, even though it's not maximized. Like it's still, you can sack like random things, javelin, right, a draw card, do some damage. Obviously that's not optimal. Like it's not something we want to do, but yeah, I think we're just going to take Deep Cavern Bat here. There's a world where we pick up corpses on the wheel. It's not a high priority card or anything. Wandering Emperor is less likely to wheel, would be a card I would consider moving into white for. Galvanic's pretty decent, like I said. Ooh, Rabblemaster. In a pack full of nothing. I mean, pairs well with Sephiroth, and Deep Cavern Bat is like, pairs well with both of them in different ways. So with Deep Cavern Bat, obviously you can strip your opponent's removal and then slam Rabblemaster, and sometimes if they don't have any removal, they're just going to die. And then Sephiroth, obviously, it makes a steady stream of bodies for that card. A couple of decent white removal spells here. Oust is quite powerful. I think Oust is better than Rabblemaster. I think white-black is stronger than red-black. Rabblemaster does have some synergy here. The other downside to taking the white-black route is there's a concealed courtyard here we'd be giving up. I do like Rabblemaster. It's been a while since I got to play with this card. This is not like a necessarily optimal pick. I kind of think Oust is probably a stronger card. But this is a spot where I think Rabblemaster is a very good card with the cards that I've got, and I kind of feel like playing it for whatever reason. So we're kind of vibing a little bit here instead of strict legal and trying to optimize. But I do think this is a pretty powerful combination. Could be maybe like a more aggressive Space Mardu would be cool. For Zergo. Harvester? I mean, okay, like sure. I like Blood Tithe Harvester. Again, not a particularly synergistic card, but just a good 2-drop. Some other decent options, like we could, if we get a couple of discard, it's not unlikely we wield a Stitcher Swing. And this is the exact kind of card deck I want to put it in with some sort of aggressively leaning space. I think I'm going to take it. Another couple of good white cards here. It's possible we get pushed off red or black. If we get pushed off either one, obviously this card gets less good. But I am just going to take it. I suspect the aggressive side of the Scholar Spectrum will be open. Like, for example, here we get offered a Legion War Boss. I am going to take Saw in Half here, though. Not because I think it's the correct pick, because it's funny. It's, like, really, really funny. If I were strictly trying to go optimal, something like Embercleave or Legion War Boss is probably better. But Saw in Half is really, really, really funny. And I'm just in for it. I'm just in for it. What can I say? Like we can Saw in Half a Rabblemaster, and then you've got 2 Rabblmasters that force each other to attack and make two dudes every turn. Oh, let's go. You could do some silly things too, potentially. I mean, Sephiroth has like the state-based action issue, but whatever. Yeah, I don't think Saw in Half is the strictly correct pick or anything, but it's very funny. This is unfortunate. I would love to get a Seer Slicer Goblin to go with my aggressive dudes, but I'm not passing up on Blood Crypt. A lot of white coming in too, but I'm gonna grab these. We're kind of getting cut, it looks like. Like, white would have been a better path to go, it looks like. But, you know, we'll see how this goes. I'm picking up the lands, if nothing else, if there's another black-red drafter. They're not getting to draft good mana bases. Ophimancer, Kolagon's Command. Ophimancer plays really well with Sephiroth. I'm going to actually grab Shoulder's Edict, just get my first Doomblade locked up here. I don't value Ophimancer that highly. It is a good defensive card, but I'm trying to be aggressive here. And I think both of these cards are pretty defensively oriented, or like grindy oriented, and I'm trying to kill people. Like, they're granted, I know I took the saw in half, and so like it might look like I'm trying to do funny things, but you know, that's just because this card is very, very funny. Sundering Eruption would be good too. Honestly, Sundering Eruption might actually be the card I'm supposed to take here, since it goes straight to the mana base. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Okay. Well, Gutter Dweller is fantastic for this pile of cards here. Go ahead and take it. All right, we do get corpses on the wheel. Little racked up at 3 drops now. And corpses probably in an ideal world starts in the sideboard. I am kind of drafting, like, I do think this on half is legitimately powerful, by the way. Like, I know that, like, it's a very silly card, but I do think it's a powerful card. Like, you can do some stuff with Deep Cavern Bats too, right? Like, your opponent tries to kill your Deep Cavern Bats and you get 2 Deep Cavern Bats instead. I'm like, this card's not going to be long for the cube, almost certainly. So I would like to get a draft in with it while I can. This looks like a decent little start here. Probably need like 1 more playable out of this pack, or we gotta, you know, go a playable or 2 extra in the next pack. The fact that Saw and Half rounds up is what makes it so nice too. It means these odds end up being just losing a little bit of power. Obviously, somebody's gonna get up with the Watley and potentially Kogel and Yudara if they want it. That's a really powerful combination.
How'd your Avatar deck do, Bella?
I did win the one match I played. It was a pretty sick deck, and I hadn't played either of my mythics in my first 2 games against him, and it was 1-1. And I finally drew one. I was like, oh man, it's too bad. It's too bad. He probably thought he had a fighting chance. And I played Buki and killed him in 2 turns.
Sweet.
Yeah.
This is unfortunate, seeing like King of the Gold Blood Curse and, you know, Whatleys and stuff this late and not saying anything. For us, I mean, cleaned us a fine sideboard card, but it's not exactly what we're looking for. Okay, I'm gonna grab Inspired Vantage here in case we wanted to do like a Zergo Splash or like a Lingering Soul Splash or something. I can't remember if we've passed the pack with Citrus Wing yet. Might have. If we have, that's really unfortunate. Looks like we have. That's a shame. I was really hoping to wheel Stitcher's Wing, as it usually goes near the end of packs. So, Sag. Sunset Saboteur. I mean, I can probably wheel this, but you know, what else am I taking here? Witchcraft Frenzy. I do think the Sunset Saboteur is kind of scary. Although Witchcraft Frenzy is really efficient, especially if I'm playing like Gutter Dweller Rabble Master. Yeah, don't really have much in the way of removal just yet. I guess we'll take this. Vista over kind of nothing. Like, I'd play Hazoret, Darkstar Augur. I'd play either one of them. So hopefully I'll get one of them on the wheel here. Otherwise, yeah, I think I just take mana here. Make sure we have good fixing. Kind of setting myself up to keep potentially getting a splash card as well if I want it. I'm really sad about those Stitcher swings, though. I was really hoping that we would get it late and that we'd be able to get like, Tursa or Inti, or both ideally, and end up with, a Bitter Triumph or something and have like this little discard package for the Stitcher swings. That would have been really cool. Darn. My gut instinct is to take Fable, but I actually think this is a spot where Marionette Apprentice is probably just better. I mean, no, I've got Harvester. We can play slower. We can play a little slower. Like, I'm not happy about having to... We didn't wheel Jadar. We're not going to wheel Marionette Apprentice. I've already got a couple of 3s. But Fable is just cracked, right? It's a very, very powerful card. This is hard. Man, it would be easier if I had that Stitcher swings, because then I'd, just be like, all right, well, here's a discard outlet. But I mean, it works really well with all of my creatures. All right. Yeah. That being said, don't have a lot to do with the mana. Yeah, I'm going to take Fable, but I'm not convinced that that's correct. All right. I'm going to take the Smuggler's Copter here. Man, this would have been such a good Stitcher Swing deck. Ugh. All right. Brain's nice. Brain's a nice pickup. Infernal Grasp is also a nice pickup. I'd like a Hard Claw too. Yeah. Like a Hard Claw. Maybe I'm just supposed to take the real spell though, and just be a little slower. That's okay. Pylon, Quag Feast, probably Pylon. Could also take Sacred Foundry, try to get that Zergo Splash. Yeah, Pylon's really efficient when you get to do the thing. It's really efficient. Ooh, Karsu Revenant this late? At this altitude or this latitude? What? All right. Deal. You're kind of clogged up on 3s here. We can't really afford to play anymore. I'd like some bottom end of my curve, but it is what it is. Okay, we get Torch the Tower back on the wheel. Cool with that. Could also take Firebrained Scheme. But not going to greed here. Just take a removal spell. Not sure how I feel about this deck. Like, not getting the Stitcher's Wing and then getting a bunch of discard outlets is just like rubbing it hard in a deck that would like that extra ability to push damage. Really need some 1s and 2s here to get the curve down a little bit. I can do without the 1s as long as I'm playing, because I'm kind of playing like a mid-rangey deck. It's aggressively slanted, but like we aren't super fast. We aren't we aren't mono red or like full bore, aggro. Would I rather have a Darkstar Augur with like my pile of 4-mana cards? Yeah, probably not. Probably can't make Hazard work either, right? We're just a little too slow. Like, I kind of wanted to be aggressive, but I think I drafted in such a way that my tendencies towards mid-range are probably going to get me here. All right. Yeah, we naturally don't get... Okay. Fine. I'm not letting this card go. I would like a Blood Cheese Thirst. That's fine. I'm just... This is disrespectful. Get out of here. Okay, fine. If you're going to twist my arm that bad about it, I can't... There's only so long I can ignore the fact that white is super open. All right. Yeah, this card's great. Love me a Dragon Berserker. Don't really care about either of these cards, to be honest. Not going to be able to make the mana work, I don't think, on that. All right, so currently we have 3 white sources if we play a Plains. Nice thing, too, is we don't have to drop Cosmic Grand early. All right, we'll probably play this if we play Cosmic Grand. We're at max capacity on 3s, which was the risk we ran when we didn't take the Marionette Apprentice, but I do think this deck is set up quite nicely to be an annoying deck. Oh man, if we could just saw on half a Cosmic Grand Zenith and then like we saw on half a Cosmic Grand Zenith and then cast another spell. Oh man, that'd be disgusting. All right, well, Lightning Bolt's really good. Lightning Bolt is very good. Yeah, let's take the cheap spell. If our creatures aren't going to be super cheap, we do need our removal to be efficient. We do have a number of 3-drops. I could take Unearth here. Pairs well with the Saw in Half, plays well with the Looters. Yeah, kind of into that. And then we maybe wheel the White Verge here. Ooh, Elegy Acolyte. Let's go. Like this card. Our mana is, could be better for sure. But power level's there for sure as well. Tursa, Kamano. Tursa's really powerful, but we're already at like 6 3-mana spells. I don't think I can afford to get any more in there. If I had Stitcher's Wings, I would play it. But I think this is going to be grab. Troll of Cause of Doom. Sinkhole Surveyor seems fantastic for us. Multiversal Passage would be nice, but Sinkhole, we really need another good 2. This is a good 2. All right, deck's close to being done. Looks okay. I don't think it's quite aggressive enough. We don't have any 1-drops, but we do. Our card quality is pretty good. We've got a little sack package with like Vrain, Sephiroth, and like Goblin Rabble Master as like kind of a little bit of an engine here. Wouldn't mind a little bit more, like one more card to do with this. Says the man who passed a Marionette Apprentice for it. Doubt we're going to wheel Multiversal Passage. It's possible this Cosmic Grand doesn't make the deck, but it is very good. Like, honestly, I'll probably play it just because I'm playing like Looter Scooter. We've got Blood Tithe Harvester. We've got Fable the Mirrorbreaker. We can just dump it in the graveyard and reanimate it with Unearth if we need to. It also like gives us more draws towards finding our fixing. I guess I could also just play Corpses of the Lost and or probably be pretty happy about it with all the looting as well. Just like a card I can keep picking up over and over again. We'll see. I just hope I get to do something cool with Saw in Half at least once. Ooh, okay. There's a Zergo. I mean, I don't really want another 3-drop. There's also a Lulth as like a top-end piece for us. I think if we're not going to be able to go underneath people, we might need to go a little bigger. Lulth gives us a bunch of bodies. Yeah, I'm kind of into that. Kind of into what Lulth's offering us here. Like a slightly more expensive card. And then Knight of the Even Legion's like actually just kind of a good one drop. Scales up. It's a mana sink. All right, maybe we're not playing this Cosmogran just to keep our mana consistent. Makes our mana a lot better. You know, I was leaning towards just playing it off of raw power. But honestly, this pile looks pretty good. I do have a bunch of cheap effects for it. Like down here at the bottom, I have quite a number of them. I don't know. I might need like one more white source. We'll see. Are there any other one? I get one new card? It's a weird space to be in. I don't think we're playing like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 removals, but okay, we've got a decent amount of removal. We also have like a couple of combos, like little soft combos, like Fable plus Blood Tithe Harvester, Saw in Half plus Blood Tithe Harvester, both really powerful combos. Let's see. Spear, Burn Down the House, Obliterating Bolt, Twinmaw Stormbird. I guess I grab the Twinmaw Stormbird. If nothing else, I've got the white source already to potentially play it. And deal 5s are very strong. Swiftspear's Teaching is also sometimes crazy. But I don't think I want to play it in this particular deck. I think I'm gonna just take this and play it over Pirate Spellbomb. I wouldn't play a Plains for this, but I go for the Throat and Avatar or Overlord. I don't know. I think I want the Doomblade more than I want the big dumb dude. This lets me upgrade this dam into like an actual Doomblade. Like maybe this card would be really strong because it's just a thing to spend mana on. But I don't know, just take the consistency here of the removal spell. Would have been a cool way to set up Unearth potentially. But not 100% sure on that one. It's possible like that the card selection, card advantage it gives is really nice. But just gonna play a little safer. I could also sideboard the Torch and just play Dam and really cut towards playing a black heavy deck, and then I get an actual Doomblade. I think I like that a little better. I don't really have a lot of free things, like efficient things to sack. I mean, I can make some tokens off Sinkhole Surveyor or like or Apple Master that I can sack to Torch. But I think I'm gonna board this in the matchups where it's good with the Pirates Spellbomb. Squishy Cup probably not making the cut here. Okay, let's see. I don't think I'm playing this Cosmogran Zenith either. I think I'm just going to roll with the more straight deck here. I'm not even sure I'm going to play the white source. Honestly, not even going to play the Vantage here. I don't want to have a land come into play tap when I'm playing a 5-drop in my deck, even if it is very, very cute. Verge I would play. Especially if I'm not interested in a Breaches, which I don't think I am. I don't have any way to pump it. I've got a bunch of good 3s. It's legendary, so it doesn't work with my Saw in Half. I think I'm going to pass on Breaches. I am going to play this Verge in place of one of my mount. Oh no, this taps for white and only makes red if you control a mountain or plains. Okay, never mind. This would be a way to play the Cosmogran Zenith, but it's not a way to play. Okay, we'll have to think about this. Okay, Bloodsoaked Champion. Probably not starting this card because I don't. Yeah, probably not starting this card, but I might sideboard it in. It's either that or Journey to pick up another removal spell, but I don't really want to splash for a removal spell here when I've already got a pile of them, and I've got a couple of them sitting in my sideboard already. I'd rather just have a card that's good against control. Kamano, Quintorius. Quintorius is really funny with that card. I don't really have a good Kamano deck, so I'm going to grab Quintorius for the board. I can definitely see this White Splash coming in certain matchups, or just like maybe we reevaluate here in a second and just we decide to play the more powerful cards. Quintorius with like Fable the Mirror Breaker is pretty good. Got a bunch of removal spells for it too. So what, I would have 3, like 4 white sources essentially. Let's see. I would have 4 white sources. Cosmic Rain's really powerful. If you wanted to splash it, you absolutely could here. It would not be unreasonable to. If I had like, if I was playing a few less 4-drops and had just like a wall of 1s and 2s, I would probably play it, even though it'd be harder to actually reliably get the mana. I just don't like. I'd have 4 sources, but then some percentage of the time I'm not gonna be able to use that Prismatic Vista to go get that source, and then it gets super awkward. Look at this. Like my hand's already like I'm already missing a red source. My hand. I mean, I'm gonna keep this because like hand's got a Sinkhole Surveyor and a Dream. You know. Like imagine this is a 3-color deck and like this you know, one of these cards is like a white card. Now we've got like Blood Tithe Harvester we can't cast. We've got white card we can't cast. You know, it's just all kinds of messed up. Okay, that's not great for us. We don't like seeing Noble Hierarch. Huh. All right, I'm gonna play Blood Tithe Harvester this turn, and then next turn Sinkhole and Bolt. If he doesn't hit a land here, if he hits a land, like yeah, okay, sure, he gets. All right. Oh wait, we can just do this anyways. All right, we can just like play our Sinkhole Surveyor, Bolt Breaches. We don't get any damage this turn, but we get a nice, you know, kill both your creatures. Okay. I think we're gonna play Rabble Man this turn. Do that or Carsey Revenant. I'm just gonna play Rabble Man. Boss, sure. Okay, then we'll play Elegy Acolyte this turn. And I do have double red cards in my deck, so I need to do this. I don't like sending here. I guess it's actually about the same, right? Because he's gonna either kill, like we can trade, but then if he ships with Legion Warboss, we've got the Elegy Acolyte to block anyways. Well, I guess I really want to make sure we trigger Elegy Acolyte. Or rather, the warp is like just kind of fine here. Yeah, I think this is fine. Whatever. I'm not gonna waste a huge amount of time thinking about this. I think like they kind of have to block. We trade off like our Rabble Master for their Warboss. It's like we're up 2 tokens and we get a 2/2 out of the Elegy Acolyte. And we draw a card. Yeah. This card's very silly. Okay, yeah. Cool. Opponent mulled to 5. We killed his dork and then bolted his 3-drop for a huge mana advantage, and the game just kind of fell apart for him. So let's see. I guess the dork deck. He's also playing War Boss and Breaches. Yeah, we'll bring in Torch the Tower here. And then I could go for the White Splash here. I could go for that and play like Shelter by Ghost or something. But I think we win by being fast. That's how we win. Not making too many changes, just boarding, slightly changing up our removal. Maybe this might actually be a good matchup for Saw and Half, where like we need to do something very silly to have a shot in the game if it goes late. Who knows? Knight's fine. This is actually probably a bad matchup for Rabblemaster. It was okay in that game because I didn't have anything in play, but we know he's playing Breaches, so we know that he's got a card that's going to make our Rabblemaster kind of not work. I mean, I guess Rabblemaster is also just kind of fine with other cards in our deck, but I think we're just making that slight change here to have a slightly better lineup on our cards. Although then it does make Witchstalker Frenzy and Pylon harder to use. Let me think about this for a second. It also makes my brain worse. Maybe it's Dragon Berserker, because this card, even though it blocks the Legion War Boss reasonably well, most of their creatures are going to be too big. Oh no, it's what am I doing? It's Unearth. They're not playing any removal. Or rather, they're probably playing red removal, but like, I don't know. I'm going back and forth about a dozen times. I don't know what exactly the cut's supposed to be here. That being said, I don't want to think too long and hard about it. I'm going to cut Unearth because they're less likely to play removal in green. Like, they'll have a couple of removal spells, but I think it's more likely that the green deck, even though the Unearth would be cool value, and if we see a bunch of removal spells this game, we'll change it up. But okay, yeah, this is fine. We can go turn 1, Troll into Blood Crypt, and then we've Saw and Half not looking great in my hand with 2 legendaries, but you know, surely draw something to do with it here. I guess we'll represent the Fatal Push at least. Okay, go get my Blood Crypt. All right, good possibility this card dies, but it is what it is. No, it did not. Okay, cool. Ah, he's on like Jund. Huh. Okay. Well, let's attack first, see what happens. Nothing. Okay. All right, fire off a Carsey Revenant. Be Doomblades it, Doomblades it. Sure. So we get to drain 2 with Vrain. Nice. I mean, it's a giant tempo blowout. If he's got like removal, that's pretty bad. Generous Int. Okay. So he's on Oliphant and Generous Int. Interesting. Bristly Bill. Yep. Did not draw the land here, which is unfortunate. I have to still just kill this thing. I mean, I guess we could attack and then Witchstalker Frenzy it. Because if he's got like Defiler of Vigor, it could be relevant. But if he's got Tyvar Stand, we don't want to get blown out by it and lose our creature for free. So, that being said, do this. Yeah, I think I'm talking to myself. The mana efficiency that we get of using our 3 mana this way, since we don't have anything to do, is probably the best chance we've got. Prosper, sure. Okay, land is nice. All right, so now we can go for the Throat plus Deep Cavern Bat. So we could take his Bridgeworks battle. Could take his Bridgeworks battle. But we know he's got it. Guess we don't really care about King of the Cold Blood Curse here, right? Well, if he draws a dork, it does... I guess he gets it back anyways. Let's take this. I could have tried to bait him into using it, and maybe that would have been correct, but... Not sure. Maybe I'm just supposed to bait him into using it. Don't know. Alright, do draw King of the Cold Blood Curse. Like not to do anything with it. Okay.
So noisy in here tonight.
We just damn this guy out of the way and move on with life. We have a stick. Did we draw a removal spell? That stinks. Oh, into Slimefoot and Squee? Really? Oh, goodness. What a good draw. That was a pretty above average series of draws, Earl Koenig. Might have been pretty good, so I guess I can't complain too much. But
to make up for the absolute dog shit first four, so
let's see.
I already had a heavy land hand, and then I drew like 3 land in a row at the beginning.
I think we're going to tap the bat for no, I want to push the damage. Oh, I guess I could tap this and then like play Sephiroth. That's pretty good.
And I kept it because game 1 I mulled 3 times and still ended with 1 land. It was awesome.
Maybe I do want both of these. Maybe we get lucky bricks. Or just like... Okay, sure. Okay, so I assume he's taking Beseju here? Or Oliphant? Those are like the 2 that make sense. Yeah. Okay, sure. Oliphant makes sense. You can just play it this turn. Actually makes a lot of sense. Sure. We do get to drain him for 1 here, which is nice. right, so it's
Right on.
12. Am I supposed to sack Kiki Jiki here? I don't want to sack Kiki Jiki here. I guess this lets us block. I guess that's actually just fine, right? All right. Now he needs to find a removal spell for Sephiroth. And he has to... I think we win.
Good game.
GG. It's funny, I kind of boarded in such a way that I felt like you were going to be playing a bunch of small creatures with not a ton of removal, like you looked like a Gruul deck in game one.
Yeah, because I didn't draw any swaps. My whole hand was black X at the end of that game. The 4 cards in my hand.
Yeah, so I boarded a little suboptimally, but yeah, I guess it's fine. All right, no reach blockers, right? No reach blockers.
No.
GG.
GG.
But, you know, if you get mad because you interacted with your commander or, you know, you play some Doom Blades or whatever, like, get over it.
Right. That just was bizarre. Or, like, you know, someone has a clearly obnoxious deck that, like, a Bajuka Bog just ruins their life, and then they get really mad, and you're like, well, I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we went all in on our graveyard deck and expected us not to play graveyard. This is like it's like people. These are the same guys that would play Dredge in best of one. they play a best of 3 match for like, and they're like, why do people have sideboards that have graveyard hate? I'm definitely not just saying that because I ran into Dredge in best of 1 in a historic game the other day, and it made me really mad. All right, hopefully we can draw a land here. That's not the land we're looking for, but it's pretty good. Honestly, into this, I think I'm gonna make a dude first. We'll hold up the bolt. Finrer. Yeah. Okay, we'll bolt that. Not excited about it. We will bolt it. We've got plenty of removal in hand. And we'll trigger our knight this turn by putting the counter on Sinkhole Surveyor. And I guess we're just using this. In that case, I mean, I guess we could just like make another dude, right? It's not exciting, but like we can do it. Don't wrath me. Nazis. All right, I got 4 cards. They all do the same thing. Probably stick Pylon, right? Or maybe it's Witchtalker, just like that's the most efficient card here. I don't know. They all kind of do the same thing. Pylon technically gives me some scrying. Would love to draw like a what would I love to draw? I don't know. Yeah, okay, he does say Pylon. Would love to draw something that does something. That's it. Love to draw something that does something. That is something that does something. We'll be cool with that. Okay, we have Tyvar Stand then. For a single green, we probably have Tyvar Stand. I would trade 3 mana to burn Tyvar Stand, I think. Maybe not. I kind of want to get this Fable into play. All right, let's do this.
You are doing thing.
Rather just put this Fable into play here, I think. I think he's got Tyvar stand though, so we're going to want to try to play around that. But the Fable token gives us some mana if it lives.
Uh-oh, don't tell me Cumrack fell asleep. Yeah, baby.
Okay, so start thinking about how we're going to close the game. We would love to see... Okay. The blocks, take 3. Let's see what he's got. Bit of Wrath, maybe? Believer? Time Warp, sure. Okay. So Time Warp, push 3 damage. Wonder if that's to make another land drop, maybe? Tapping all of our green mana, okay. And our black. What are we playing? And most of our blue. What are we doing? Cornclax, sure. Okay. This could get annoying because if he's got Tyvar stand like we suspect, we only have 1 removal spell that actually deals with the Klex. Okay, so almost certainly Tyvar stand or else we would have played the Hedgebaits here, right? No, we've got a bounce spell. Okay, sure. Okay, never mind. Well, bounce the token, sure thing. And we draw, so I think I'm going to, wait, no, hold on. Feel like removal. What if we did this? Is this greedy? This might be greedy, but I'm gonna do it. Saw in half, okay. Sure.
Jesus.
It's fine. Box there and there, sure.
Caustic Bronco reveals all the font. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Good. Down. All right. And then hopefully, what happens if we saw it have a Fable? What happens? Do we get 2 chapter? Hold on.
Sorry, I had to intervene with baby drama. I'm dead. Cool.
Okay. It does not appear to have Just out of curiosity, does anybody know what happens if you saw in half a reflection of Kiki Jiki? Like if you saw in half a flip saga creature, do you get the chapter 1s or the chapter 3s? Or the flip, like the actual creature?
No idea.
Okay, sure. That's what I get for playing with a card that has weird rules. I tried looking it up. I usually would just look up that up, but I can't find any information about it.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Another green deck, huh? Could bring in Torch the Tower. Unearth again, looking just a little sketchy though. Maybe if they're playing blue and black, they probably have removal / counter magic. Torch deals with Summon Fenrir, Jill, and all of his little guys. I'd rather have that than an Unearth. We'll see if he plays more Doomblades. Showed us none. Could also be the red cap. But the red cap has menace, I guess. That's fine. Not sure. I think I could probably optimize my sideboard a little more here. My sideboarding, rather. Single Surveyor has looked really, really good, though. Okay, hand is slow, but, I mean, it's got a Fable and a Sephiroth and a red cap. I mean, sure. If we just draw, like, 3 lands, that's obviously super bad, but... Oh, okay. Sure. Don't mind going Fable into red cap into Sephiroth, though. Best case is we're going to draw like Blood Tide Harvester here. That'd be really sick. Ooh, Deep Cavern. Never mind. Deep Cavern Bat was best case here. Time Warp, Kogla. So he's got 3 mana. What if we just took his Repurposer? We could make it Farseek. He's got 2 removal creatures, so it doesn't really matter. I kind of just want to take his Repurposer and force him to Farseek and be really slow. Because he's got 2 anyways. Yeah. Does think that his hand is just kind of resilient to whatever we could be doing here.
Oh, great. That card.
But is what it is.
Yeah, that card.
I guess he could also just like Hydra for 1 here. That was a consideration I should have thought about, is he could have just Hydra'd for 1 if he wanted. But it would have kept him off of ramp, so.
Jundy Doom.
So now he can just Hydra for 2.
Tell if y'all are still playing when you stream your game.
I'm on Twitch, unfortunately, so I can't actually stream.
Oh.
But you can find me streaming on twitch.tv/Teld
Oh my god.
where I, Teld, will be talking. All right, got 5
I
mana.
heard that.
Am I Time Warp here to try to get a better Kogla turn? Or to get a turn with the Kogla? Oh, you can't do that. What am I talking about? Can't use the Hurt Heirloom for that. Okay. He fights the 2/2 token, sure. Okay, let's spend a couple lands here. So I think I'm going to red cap here, and Let's attack for 1 here. Okay, so then we kind of want to draw a land here. We just kill the red cap. Yeah, that makes sense. Can't saw it in half anymore, unfortunately. This Kogla's going to be a problem. All right, I guess we're going to find out what blowing up a reflection of Kikiji does. Yeah. All right, let's grab a land. Oh, he has time warp. Crud. That's so bad for us. All right. Well, we might just be dead. He's going to get to draw a card. All right, let's find out what this does. For science. Okay, we do get actual Kiki-Jikis. That's cool. Unfortunately, we're going to get time warped and then he's going to blow up one anyways. So, yeah. Gross. All right. Well, I think we're cooked. Their draw lined up really, really well. Whoa. Let's go, Gla. Yeah, okay, we just got everything. Cool. All right. Go game 3. All right. It's just like big beaters all the way down, huh? That's super unfortunate. Wonder if I'm supposed to bring in the Bloodsoak champion just to get underneath him here a little bit. Yeah, this guy is just too slow. It does have menace though, so there's that. This is not the matchup for Solid Half. Mostly just because if my draws aren't really good, I don't know how I win. He also doesn't seem to be playing much interaction beyond Kogla and the Hydra. Yeah, let's board in the Bloodsoak champion here and try to get under him a little bit. Oh, I probably should have boarded out the Torch the Tower here, though. Like, having seen that his deck is mostly creatures that don't die to it. Whatever. Too late. Yeah, I think this is the kind of hand I need to beat him. I need there to be a land on top, but I'm not mulliganing this. If there's a second land, even if it's just a straight black land, I think we're pretty good here. We'll just Deep Cavern Bat into Sinkhole Surveyor or anything. Ah, rough. Okay, probably lose now. It is what it is. We knew there was a high roll there, and we didn't hit it. All right, GG. Kept a risky hand because I needed a good hand to win. Like, you can see the world where we just drew a second land here and we go like sinkhole into deep cavern bat or deep cavern bat into sinkhole, and like we're really far ahead on tempo. Okay, GG. I would keep that same hand like every single time against this deck though. Like, I boarded in the Bloodsoaked Champion to do exactly what it did, which was to push like 4 damage or 6 damage before he gets anything going. If we drawn a land there, we would have been absolutely golden. Just one land gets us Sinkhole Surveyor online, and we start stacking up counters and getting some damage in. We start getting dudes for Vrain and for our okay, even if it's just like a second swamp, we're so good there. So I would absolutely keep that hand like every single time against this deck. I can't beat him going long. I don't know if I'm capable of putting together a better draw like opener than that outside of the missing land. So you just play to your outs. Like sometimes you don't get there on those. All right, see if we can write out with the 2-1 for tonight. It's okay. We've got the Blood Tithe to cycle one of these lands. So got the sure. Man, being on the draw sucks. I guess that would have got us either way, but whatever. All right. Gobin. Yeah. All right. Well. Anyway, it's just a Goblin Rabble Master. Okay. Are blue red. Find the red source. So let's go ahead and play this, and then we attack with 2 creatures, and good. Okay. When it takes a bunch of damage, we'll slam this, and then we've got the Thunder Interruption set up. So that would be what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he is dead if he doesn't find something like a counterspell here. I guess a counterspell or a removal spell is necessary to keep playing the game. Okay, we do find Torch the Witness. That does do 2. Sure. I think we're just turning all of our creatures sideways there. Oh wait, we have the Hive of the Eye Tower too. Hold on. So I can fire this up. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not quite lethal, but it puts him unbelievably close to lethal. This is 4, and we can get rid of the torch in the graveyard so he can't buy it back. All right. I guess alternatively, I could hold back the Harvester and we could sack it to kill the Gobin, but honestly, I just don't really care that much. It takes, what, 4 mana to flip? Yeah, I would just exile the torch here so you can't buy it back. This is scary though. This is like a lot of Izzet stuff going on. Cryptic Coat. All right, so he's dead. All right, lots of small stuff. So we're definitely bringing. Maybe I should have been main decking this torch. I am gonna cut Saw in half here. He's got Spell Pierce and cheap removal. Karma's more cute than good tonight. I had a couple of spots where it would have been really cool though. So maybe that's worth it. Let's see. Don't want to cling to dust, knowing that he's on Gobin and Stormchaser's talent. Maybe.
Yeah, seems like my opponent dipped after round 1. So I'm gonna go do something else.
I'm sorry to hear that. Have a good evening, Ash.
Alright, bye.
It drives me nuts how much there've been a lot of people dropping lately after like 1 or 2 rounds. It's really rude. I try not to do it. I've done it I get it doing it on occasion, but like it just doesn't happen a lot. Whatever. So I get it. Some people stay up, like, it ends up being later than they expect or whatever. But anyways, do I want Corpses of the Lost against his Sprite Dragon deck? Probably not. But if he's trying to like grind the game out with removal, it is pretty good. I don't think I'm going to overboard here in game 2. I think I'm just going to see what more of his deck is and just board in the 1 extra removal spell over the Saw in half here. I don't want to get my Saw in half spell pierced. Well, guess we're taking a mulligan. A lot of cool cards in this hand. All right, this is fine. Got a land here. I guess we don't need red. All right, Storm Chaser's on 1 again. The Black Cleaves here and pass. Just hold up in our interaction here. Good play, huh? Maybe I'm just gonna run Smuggler's Copter out again. He's got to have Spell Pierce again to counter it. If he's got it, he's got it. Yeah, doesn't this time. So he just basically missed out on a point of damage here. Very sure. He's on it. He knows Cryptic Cut's a good card. All right. Let's Deep Cavern Bat before we decide if we would like to bolt ourselves or shock ourselves. Eternal Kefnet. Can't deal with that. I guess we're getting rid of this Torch the Tower here. It's like a small ball removal spell. And then, do I want to play? I think I'm gonna play the Mountain because I'm like, it's either shock myself now or shock myself next turn. But if I draw a Swamp, I don't have to shock myself. So this way I can hold up the Bolt either way. So sure. Okay, little annoying because Brainstorm would counter the Lightning Bolt and we know about it. This is sketchy. So, if I tap down the Elegy Acolyte, I mean, I guess the creatures are attacking through anyways. No, they don't. All right, I'm gonna trade 1 point of lifelink now in order to have a much better odds of like forcing my opponent to have a removal spell. Needing a removal spell rather. I've got to discard this one. And so we'll hit with Elegy Acolyte trigger. Okay. So now we can definitely play Lolth next turn. He gets to look at some new cards. So if these aren't good, he does lock himself out. So hopefully he doesn't find a cheap removal spell. All right, Stock Up is not a cheap removal spell, though it could find a 1 mana removal spell. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage coming through. We find a land, could have a... Oh, no. Okay, we might just be dead, right? We just take too much damage here. We found the removal. Rough. All right, yeah. We found the Brazen Bar. We had a lot of digging to do. Yep. Okay. And we can't even play Elegy Acolyte because we die. And then we die to the Cryptic Coat. All right. Yep. I guess I should at least do this. I don't have any outs, but we can at least like pretend we do. And Brainstorm found Stock Up found Brazen Borrower. Not much we can do about that. Okay, and that'll do it. Go game 3. So he is aggressive, at least like moderately aggressively slanted. I do need I guess I have some Doom Blades for that guy. I was gonna say I do need an out to this Kefnet, but I don't think that means I want to board a red card necessarily. I'm gonna boarding corpses though this time on the play. Just try to run him down. There's a world where like the Stock Up fails to find a removal spell there. I mean, he would have dug like 8 cards deep or whatever, so like it was unlikely, but it was a world where that happened. You all right? Not bolting myself. Yeah, just go ahead and kill this. It's gonna be annoying at some point. This is looking like we're gonna lean on Lolth kind of game. Ooh, that's a good draw. Let's play. Is there anything with Flash I need to worry about at 3 mana? I think it's just Tidebinder. Sure. Oh, he's got a swamp in his deck. So he's playing actual black cards, I guess? I'm assuming that's not just to flip the Gobin. We haven't seen any black cards. Maybe like Scarab God or something. If he doesn't play something incredibly scary this turn, if it's just a small creature, I'm going to just slam Lolth and we'll move on. If he's like holding up a bunch of mana, I won't. But if he doesn't do anything, I guess we could actually just make a 5/5, and that probably is better than most random things we could be doing. Got Eternal Captain. Okay, so we do have to kill this. We draw Blood Tithe Harvester, so it's all good. Kefka? Oh, that's what the black card is for. Rough. Ugh. All right. Sure. So we can blow this up, and then I'd rather do that than just like, yeah, I'd rather just do that. I think. Yeah, this makes it much harder for him to do. Get our Lolth though. How rude. Do we need to do better than Rabblemaster? I think we need to do better than Rabblemaster, right? We're digging for like something that actually pushes damage next turn, Sephiroth or whatever. I guess technically Rabblemaster can push 8 damage, but it's not more than Hive. All right, got there. GG. Scary deck. Every time I see a Kefka resolve, it's just like, oh god, what are we gonna do? We got bailed out so hard from the blind top deck of Pylon though. Like, unbelievably lucky there. Okay, so what are my thoughts on this deck? It was good. This deck was really powerful. It played much more to the like removal curve out sort of space rather than being dense on the synergies, which meant that we didn't really get to leverage Sephiroth or Vrain quite as hard as some other decks. But on the flip side, we had really good individual card quality. And we were able to just kind of curve out on people. I think this deck did pretty good. It was cool to use Damn as a removal spell instead of a Wrath. This was kind of one of the reasons we included this card, is that it has some flexibility. I think this is the first time I've used it as a Doomblade. But yeah, I think there were, I probably would have liked another 2-drop in this deck. I say that about most of my decks. I probably should just be drafting 2-drops a little higher because like they're super important. I think the Fable here was like kind of underpowered. Actually, it was okay, but really we would have liked something more aggressive. Like Tursa would have actually been a better fit for our deck. The 3/3 rat guy probably would have fit our deck better too. The Lord Skitter, even Breaches might have. Breaches probably like enough worse than this card though that this is just better. Solid Half was an interesting card. I only got to really cast it like one time and it was kind of bad. There were a number of cards in my deck that I could have done some cool things, powerful things. And it had some synergy with like the death triggers and stuff. I'm still uncertain about this card. Like I'm not gonna, because it makes your, like some of your draws into some of your removal or some of your opponent's matchups and stuff like are gonna be really powerful. But at the same time, it's a really, really clunky card. So it's one that the jury's still out on a little bit. But I liked having all the Doom Blades. I liked having the burn. I think I still like the main deck construction. Like I did board in Torch the Tower in every single matchup, but it was for different reasons. And I think I was boarding out Unearth a lot, but I think this card in general is pretty good, especially with like Smuggler's Copter and Blood Tithe Harvester and I thought I had one more discard effect. Maybe I only have the two. In any case, I generally enjoyed playing this. I don't think it was perfect. I think that matchup though against Tall One, his Sultai deck, I think we could have. There's a different world where we just hit the land and like we probably crush him, right? With the Deep Cavern Bats into like the Sinkhole plus a removal spell, if I remember right. But it is what it is. Like we had to keep a greedy hand to try to get under him because his deck was very, very powerful and our deck just couldn't keep up with it. So we had to get under him. I think I would have liked some more early game aggressive cards. Unfortunately, none of them are high enough card quality. And I think that was one of the reasons, like I had this, was that Bloodsoak Champion? But the card quality on Knight of the Ebon Legion is just really, really high. I would like to see more cards like this. Cecil would have been one that I probably would have considered just as like a strong card. And I also do wonder if I should have main decked the Corpse of the Lost. This card always seems to be a card that I like. And I probably should have had it in against Tall One if I didn't. I don't remember if I boarded it in or not. But the haste on that card would have been really, really nice. And it would have probably taken the place of either Solid Half or in this specific deck, it might have taken the place of Fable, though I think this card, again, is just enough stats and power that maybe you're supposed to just play it. But yeah, I enjoyed this deck quite a bit. So that's going to do it for me. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for coming to my TED Talk.